We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you.
The 23.
Hey, what is up, you guys? This is Steffi, aka My Humble Opinion, and today I am back with another movie review. This summer, I feel like we have a lot of really fantastic movies coming out. I'm excited to see all of them. The first of which is the movie that I'm going to be reviewing today, and that is Ocean's 8. So Ocean's 8 has an all-star cast, that of which includes Sandra Bullock, Cate Blanchett, Anne Hathaway, Helena Bonham Carter, Sarah Paulson, Mindy Kaling, Awkwafina, and of course, Rihanna. This movie was directed by Gary Ross, and the screenplay is accredited to Olivia Milch and Gary Ross. So Ocean's 8 is part of the Ocean's franchise, and this particular movie is centered around Danny Ocean's younger sister named Debbie Ocean, played by Sandra Bullock. And at the beginning of the movie, Debbie Ocean is released from jail, and with the help of her partner in crime, played by Cate Blanchett, together they assemble a team, and they go on this heist together to basically steal a very prestigious, historic, really expensive necklace that is going to be worn at the Met Gala by Anne Hathaway's character. And Anne Hathaway plays this socialite, it girl actress that is also hosting the Met Gala. And before I begin, I just want to make it really clear, this is my first foray into the Ocean's franchise. I have not seen the original Ocean's 11, nor have I seen the reboot and franchise that starred George Clooney, Ocean's 11, 12, and 13. I haven't seen those movies, so this is my first one. So with that being said, I just want you guys to know that in this review, there really isn't going to be much of a compare and contrast to those movies. I'm really just focusing on this specific movie. So as with all movie reviews on this channel, first I'm gonna go into the pros, then I'm gonna go into the cons, and then at the very end, I'm going to be giving my final grade. So let's just get into it.
Taylor Swift? Can't we just go to this? Do we have to steal stuff?
Yes.
Is it genetic? Are the whole family like this?
Literally.
Alright, so my first obvious pro to this movie is the casting. What a phenomenal cast. Really the best of movie and television and music. I really felt like each character within the team was very unique. They had their own unique sense of style and purpose and way of talking, and they each had their own skill they brought to the table. And honestly, just seeing all 8 of those women together on screen just brought me so much joy. My second pro to this movie is the chemistry specifically between Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett. Because Sandra Bullock is playing Debbie Ocean, who is the younger sister of Danny Ocean, she's really the team leader of all of this, and Cate Blanchett is sort of like her sidekick. She's sort of like her Kanicki to Sandy's Danny, if you will. I like how I used a Grease reference when I really could have used an Ocean's reference, but anyways. And I just really loved the scenes with the 2 of those women specifically because first of all, oh my god, we get to see Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett like bounce off of one another. And overall, I just felt like when I was watching those scenes with those 2 specific characters, I really got the sense that they were really good friends and that they had each other's back. And that's what I want, especially if you're doing a heist movie and it involves a team of people. You want to see that trust between the people in that team. And when it came to Sandra Bullock's character and Cate Blanchett's character, I really felt like there was this genuine trust and friendship between the 2. But in my opinion, the MVP of this movie and my third pro is Miss Anne Hathaway. So like I said in the beginning of this video, Anne Hathaway plays this it girl actress starlet who is hosting the Met Gala, and she is so obnoxious and so full of herself and very over the top. But Anne Hathaway does a really great job at acting the part, yet acting it in a way that we don't hate that character, because I think it's really easy to hate someone like that on paper, but that character just comes across as so funny. And honestly, I kind of feel like that character that Anne Hathaway was playing was a little bit of a wink at Anne Hathaway's sort of public persona that's kind of developed post her winning an Oscar, because you know, people tend to think like, oh god, Anne Hathaway, she's so annoying. But you know what, let me just say it right here, I've always been Team Anne. I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman being very clear and distinct in what she wants and what she wants to achieve in life. And you know what, Anne Hathaway, it did come true.
It came true.
But going back to this movie, I do feel like it was important for Anne Hathaway's character specifically to be very over the top because the context in which that character exists, a lot of her scenes are revolved around the Met Gala. That's a very heightened reality, and we want our character in that setting to be as heightened and as over the top as well. My fourth pro to this movie is the fact that it is taking place and it is centered around the event of the Met Gala. When I found out the basic premise of this movie took place at the Met Gala, I just thought that was so genius because everyone, at least like, you know, in the United States, knows that the Met Gala is arguably the biggest, well, in the movie they say it's the biggest party to be invited to of the year. And there's sort of like this culture that's been built around the Met Gala because of social media. The Met Gala has really become a fixture in recent years, and the fact that they set this all-female heist movie at the biggest party of the year in entertainment is just, it was just really, really great idea. And you know, all those celebrity cameos were fun too, and the setting in the Met Gala itself was so luxurious and rich, and it brought out really, really great fashion. And that scene towards the end of the heist when the women all got to walk down in their beautiful gowns that were tailored just for them was just like, oh, delicious. And shout out to Cate Blanchett's character, man. Like, she's such a freaking badass, and her outfit at the end, she wasn't even wearing a gown. She was like wearing like a pantsuit, like a glittery, sparkly, turquoise, aqua green-ish pantsuit. I was like, yes, girl, work! Alright, so with all of that being said, now I have to get into the cons because woo, there are a couple and arguably, you know, really big cons to this movie. So my first big glaring con is the fact that the script is very, very underwhelming. And it's not that I necessarily had high expectations of the movie, but the fact that you have a cast like that, you know, you really have an amazing dream team of a cast, and that's the story that they have to work with. The problem is, I wanted this movie to be more fun, and I wanted it to be funnier. Like, yeah, it had its fun moments, and yeah, I chuckled here and there, but, you know, walking away from it all, I just was like, I wanted more. Additionally, because this is a heist movie, I thought some of the gags could have been a bit more clever, and I thought the dialogue could have been a lot more memorable and a lot snappier. When it came to the actual heist itself, I did feel like it was a little bit too easy for them. After they were able to, you know, finish the heist, I was like, oh, that's it. With all of that being said, the script definitely needed a lot more work. My second big con to this movie is that I wanted to see more of the camaraderie between all of the women, not just between Sandra Bullock and Cate Blanchett's character, but between all the women in the team. I wanted more of the sense of we're all collectively working together to get this accomplished. My personal favorite sequence in this movie, which was the sunglasses sequence, Mindy Kaling and Helena Bonham Carter's character go to Cartier to actually look at the necklace, and they're trying to scan the necklace with the glasses, but then because they're like so underneath the ground, the glasses aren't getting any signal, and then they're cutting back between Helena Bonham Carter and Mindy Kaling at Cartier and the rest of the girls like huddled in a group behind the computer. Like, I just thought that part was so well done, and I wish we would have gotten more moments like that. When it comes to specifically women-driven anything, whether it comes to television or movies like Big Little Lies or Bridesmaids, two tonally different things in two different mediums, television and film. The reason why I think those two pieces work is because you really felt the camaraderie and the bond between the women in those works, and I felt like we didn't get enough of that. My third con to this movie, basic screenwriting 101, where was the villain? Where was the conflict? Where was the con? I mean, I really felt like the possible villain was James Corden's character, who plays sort of the insurance agent that may potentially catch on to these girls' heist, which, by the way, I felt like he connected those dots a little bit too easily. So I don't know about that, but James Corden's character doesn't even prove to be that big of a threat in the grand scheme of things. So really, again, it was just too easy for these women. Because there wasn't really a present con or villain in the story, I didn't really feel as on edge of the seat as I would have liked to, and the stakes didn't seem that high because, again, it was just all too easy. And my fourth con to this movie, which, you know, isn't really that big of a problem to me, but when you have a cast like this, it kinda is the fact that I really wish the other women would have been more fleshed out. I know when it comes to storytelling, it's hard to flesh out really interesting backstories for every individual character because it's like you have a lot to get done within like a 2-hour time frame. But when you have people like Sarah Paulson and Mindy Kaling, when you have actresses like that who really like, especially Sarah Paulson, man, like again, like I'm very biased when it comes to Sarah Paulson because I'm a huge Sarah Paulson fan. Give her more to do. All right, well, with all of that being said, I am going to give, I'm gonna give this movie, God. You know, honestly, I would give this movie a C+, but I'm gonna bump it up to a B- because really the cast of this movie did a great job with what they were given. It's really the script's fault for the reason why this movie kind of falls flat. I wanted this movie to be really, really good. I did. I was rooting for this movie.
I was rooting for you! We were all rooting for you! How dare you!
And it's not that I hated this movie, like it's not a bad movie. It's just a fine movie. But with the cast like this, and with a premise like this, in a setting like this, it needs to be more than just a fine movie. It could be a great movie. And honestly, if we want to be like real serious, the press junkets leading up to the release of this movie were a lot funnier than the actual movie. No shade. With that being said, I'm just gonna end the movie review here. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and please turn on the notification button down below so you know when a new video from me comes out. And comment down below, have you seen this movie? And if so, what were your thoughts? And let me know, who were your favorite characters? Which member of the team was your favorite? And do you think that they're gonna have an Ocean's 9 and 10? Given that I think this movie did perform fairly well in its opening weekend, and so because of that performance, I'm pretty sure they're gonna come back with an Ocean's 9 at least. So yeah, let me know what are your thoughts on that. And oh, my favorite character on the team, Cate Blanchett. She was good, she was good. Well, that's about it. As always, everything I said was just my own personal thoughts and all of my humble opinion, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
You keep playing where you shouldn't be playing. And you keep thinking that you'll never get burned. Ha! I just found me a brand new box of matches, yeah. And what he knows